Don't be afraid of people rejecting you. Stick to your guns. If your motivation is always cramped and, oh, I want to fit in. Oh, they might not like me. Oh, this might be too different. Oh, my podcast might not be like other people. That fear, it just withers the soul and makes what you create just like everything else out there. But when you think, no, I'm going to be myself. I'm going to mind what's different about me. I'm going to be bold and confident. Those who are trying to follow all the trends, they might sell a book, they might make a movie, but they don't have impact. Psychologist Abraham Maslow, who studied a lot of children, for instance, he said that children, they have what he calls impulse voices. And these are voices that say, I like this, I don't like that. They're very clear. They know what they like and what they don't like. Everyone had that because it's the nature of being an infant in this world, right? Because it's natural. It's a voice that's naturally inside of all of us. And then as you get older, you start listening to Mr. Harbinger and Mrs. Harbinger telling you, don't do this, do this. You know, this is what you should behave like this. Don't behave like that. And slowly you go through a process where you're not hearing it anymore. You're hearing what teachers tell you. You're hearing what parents tell you. You're hearing what peers are telling you about what's cool, what's not cool. I'm talking about like your career, what you were meant to do. And then you arrive, you're 18, 19 years old, and you haven't a clue because you can't hear that voice anymore. And you're going to try this, that, the other, not based on things that are deep inside of you, but based on what other people have told you you should do or what they think is cool.
Anything that's worth having is worth paying for. So when people come up to you and they're going to give you something for free, like they're going to offer services to you for free just because they like you or whatever, you better believe that they're expecting something out of you. Money is not just numbers. Money is an indication of some basic psychology. So if they're not willing to offer their services for a price, that means there's something else going on, right?
Right.
Because everybody basically wants money on some level. The other side of it is that you want to be using money in as generous a manner as possible.
Okay.
Right? So if you're trying to nickel and dime people, and instead of they want $10,000, you try to get them down to $7,500 or $5,000, you'll get maybe what you want, but their heart isn't going to be into it. They're going to be resentful. Being generous and paying for things is a sign of power. And it's a sign that you're generous in spirit in other ways as well. So the human brain operates by pleasure and pain. What is pleasurable, we're attracted to. And what is painful, we naturally recoil from. And if things become too painful, we never do them. And if things become pleasurable, we get addicted to them, often with bad consequences. All right? So if the idea of discipline, of consistently doing an action, is only associated with pain, with tedium, with being by yourself in a room, doing one thing over and over and over again, you're never going to get over the mountain. Because it's associated with too much pain, and the brain naturally shrinks from anything that's painful, okay? So there has to be pleasure involved. Discipline has to have an element of pleasure. Consistently doing your work has to have rewards. Reward is the key word here, right? So if you never feel a direct, pleasurable sensation from what discipline is giving you, then it's never going to work. According to Keats, the Shakespeares of the world, the highly creative types, cultivate what he calls negative capability. They can negate the ego and its anxieties. They are not in a rush to come to a conclusion about the world or any new phenomenon. They are completely open to entertaining this idea or that idea at the same time while continuing to observe what's going on around them. They can look at ambiguous or contradictory evidence and not be disturbed or feel the need to explain them away. This ability to withstand what seems mysterious, to manage the lack of knowing something with certainty, is the primary quality of all creative people, no matter their profession.